at you all the way from our dorm rooms to your conference rooms. Saba, Ali, and Dan Tiemann here are two college students who are ready to talk to you guys about business and lifestyle from our personal experiences.
Each week we'll discuss about our lifestyle as college students as well as our tips and strategies starting in the business field. We'll bring on successful entrepreneurs in the millennial generation to share with us their journey and how they got started and where they're at now.
Our goal is to help you students, millennials, and entrepreneurs gain inspirational advice via our spontaneous conversations and meaningful guidance. Let's dive on in.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 40 of Dorm Rooms and Conference Rooms. Guys, as always, we have another special guest on here for our Friday special. And this one's actually going to be an interesting episode and really cool because it's something near and dear to all of our, 18 to 20-something-year-olds' heart, because it's something that affects all of us. But to get us going, as always, Saba, how are you today?
I am doing great. Super excited about our guest today because it's also her birthday. So obviously this is going to air in a couple of weeks, but I'm super excited.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys. So we have Ogechi on right now. Ogechi's the founder of OneSavvyDollar. Pretty much what OneSavvyDollar wants to do is help find companies that will pay for your schooling, for college and things like that, to really get rid of these loans that we all have. Like I believe financial loans right now in America for student loans are hit the trillion mark or something like that. Something I just know outrageously high at this point in time. But to get us going, Ogechi, how are you doing today on your birthday? And give us a little more insight about yourself.
Hi, Dan. Thank you so much. Thank you, Saba. I'm doing awesome. I feel very great today. It's my birthday. I also paid off my student loans, actually.
Oh, there you go.
I just called and, just paid it all off. So I'm feeling really good today. I feel good about OneSavvyDollar, about our purpose and what we're trying to achieve. Because the student loan, like you said, did hit the trillion mark. It's actually at 1.3 trillion right now, impacting about 44 million Americans. And the average graduates with at least 37,000 in student loans. Mind you, this amount is very conservative because it depends on what school you go to, what state. And this is just for undergrad alone. Certain degrees, almost in some ways, you kind of need to get a master's. Just very few degrees will allow you get by with a bachelor's. So education could take you, anywhere from, 2 years if you get an associate's, but most likely 4 to 6 or 8 years or even more. So we're just trying to help people, or college kids, college-bound kids, and kids in grad school find companies that will help them pay for school.
It's really interesting. It's great, like a great cause and everything like that, being that it's in the trillion mark now. But how did everything get going? Like, take us back to where you started to be an entrepreneur and how you ended up in finance now.
Sure. Well, I started off my career as a bank teller. Started off at Citibank and worked my way around, became a loan representative. And that was when I knew that personal finance or finance was a major issue. And it was something that I wanted to get into and be in. Because personal finance affects people in ways that's a little different from any other issue. It's possible to see someone, dressed up really nice car, nice everything on the outside, but on the inside, things are not going so well. So I also knew that people had credit, debt issues, credit issues. Some people had a problem with saving, budgeting, and stuff like that. So, even as a teller, I try to help out, try to point them to resources as my own knowledge grew. I started this almost, I would say, in grad school. It did take me a while to kind of fine tune to what I specifically wanted to do, because as every entrepreneur knows, you kind of grow up in the dark a little bit till you eventually find your niche, like where you want to be exactly. So I would say it kind of started as my career, and while I was in college. I have a bachelor's in communications. Actually, I'll take that back. Professional communications. I can't forget that. And I have a master's in accounting. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's almost like my personal and professional life mixed together to become this.
That's awesome. So, Ogechi, I'm curious. So, when you were an undergrad in college, did you have this idea of your business when you were still an undergrad, or did you kind of come up with this after you graduated?
It was more so during when I was in grad school. It wasn't so much in undergrad. I was still trying to find my way around because while I have a bachelor's in communications, I actually thought I was going to go to law school. And then, of course, I sat down to actually calculate the cost of that. And I just figured it wasn't, I could do something else and be equally happy. Being in law school wasn't the be all or end all. There are many other areas I could do something in and be happy. So for undergrad, I would say I was still kind of trying to find my way, but the idea for OneSavvyDollar started to grow or started in grad school.
It's awesome. That's definitely like you just gotta grow your passion, find your passion along the way. A lot of people don't know what they want to do in life right away, and that's not a problem at all. Like you'll figure it out as you go. Like no reason to be stressed at the age of 20 years old, not knowing what you want to do by the time you're 30. Like you just gotta go with it, and everything will be okay.
Exactly, and you have to also make sure that whatever it is you decide to do, I don't know, there are different kinds of entrepreneurs. Some people say, oh, you don't need to have knowledge in it. You could just go, you could just pick up and go and you fine tune along the way. I do think you need some kind of knowledge, to be able to begin anything. So I would say I had to be comfortable enough in my own knowledge to believe I could help someone else. So, yeah.
So then you got started with OneSavvyDollar. I know you were working on the website for a little bit. We were in contact for a while there, talking back and forth.
Yes.
When you were getting the website all up and running. How's everything going with it now? Like, how's the website running great? How are you bringing on clients? What are you doing, really?
Yes, awesome question. The website is done since the last time, when you checked in. We're done. We are now trying to hit every college, Actually, we got into Suffolk County Community College. It's a community college out here in Long Island, which is where I reside. We also got into Syracuse University. So they have, added us as a resource to their list of resources. And we're also in Hilbert College up in, I think, in the Albany area. But yeah, we are beginning, because I just wrapped up the website about I would say towards the end of March. Yeah, towards the end of March, that was when we finally wrapped up enough to at least, let this out to the public. And we are trying to get into as many schools as we possibly can.
So when you were starting this, or how long have you been running your company? And then when you did start it, what were some struggles that you had to overcome before, like, you actually had it up and going?
It's a good thing you asked that question. The struggles are many. I would tell you, I'll be upfront with you, because I think a lot of people like to come, online, and they tell you, oh, entrepreneurship is great, and they make it seem all fancy. I don't even like using the word entrepreneur. I just say I'm starting a business. I think it keeps me in check. This is a very personal statement, because people trying to make entrepreneurship sound all sexy and it's fun, and but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I was duped. I was scammed last year by a developer who I contracted to build a website for me, and I almost fell into depression. Not that I almost fell. I was depressed for a while because I paid him and we agreed for him to do work, and because I didn't want to, stay as a client with him after the job wrapped, he destroyed my work basically, and that was that. So that set me back, and I had to go back to rebuilding. I will say this though, that it led me to this path, because we built something different from what it is now. We built something towards mortgages and stuff like that. But in between the time I was depressed and trying to figure out what to do next and how to bounce back from this loss, I decided to go this route, because even my own research tells me that student loan is a major major issue for millennials. It's one of the reasons why they can't, some people can't start a family, buy a home, pursue their dreams, because they're trapped in this cycle of student loan debt. I mean, some people have $50,000 in student loan, $100,000, 200. I've read so many stories, and I'm like, you know what? Companies are going to pay for you. I mean, how do I know this? A company paid for a portion of my master's, so there's FAFSA, there's scholarships, there's all kinds of grants, but we know even for the kids in, taking a master, studying for their masters, your options reduce drastically. There's not as much financial aid. There's not as much. Your only option basically is loans, but companies will pay for your undergrad, and they will pay for your masters if you meet certain minimal conditions, maybe staying with them after a year or two and keeping up a certain grade. And it's not, I don't think it's bad. So I decided to do a little more research into this and.
Right. So Ogechi, when you did have your loss and when you did go under like a depression for a little bit, what was like the timeline like? Was this over like a couple of years, a couple of months?
No.
Or?
We began working in, I believe, 2014. Basically, the loss happened last year in 2016.
So, Ogechi, another thing, people really don't know how to get going, like how to market new businesses. How have you been marketing your new business? How have you been doing it digitally or offline, whatever you've been doing on the phone with the schools like Syracuse and all that? What have you been doing to market yourself to really get the name out there of OneSavvyDollar?
There are various ways you could market. You could, first for me, I've started off with friends. I've started off with writing for other people. I write on other websites. I also cold call. Yes, you will have to pick up that phone. You will have to speak. You will have to speak to people you don't know. You will put a smile on your face and talk to them about what they most likely have never heard of before, and you will have to explain what it is you do, why you need their time. But I would say major way is cold calling for now. We plan on doing Facebook ads. I plan on a few other things in the works. Also, I have other interviews coming up. So there's a mixture of word of mouth, a little bit of cold calling, and also actually paid advertising. So you just have to figure out your budgets and figure out what's the best medium for you. But so far, friends have been supportive, and then interviews, podcasters, bloggers, writing on other established websites that are in your industry, and also cold calling, I would say.
So, Ogechi, do you do all of this yourself, or do you have a team that really helps you with like the marketing and like managing everything, financing?
You said financing. That's always a great question. Everyone wants to know where, how do I get money? You have to budget. You have to save. For now, I'm my own investor. So you can understand when that initial loss happened, how hard it hit me, because that was my own money. It wasn't someone else's money. So for now, I'm my own investor, and I am running this myself, although I will be getting some help later on towards the end of the year, in the fall specifically. But for now, it's all me. So I'm basically running this and showing up every day.
It's awesome. So then, Ogechi, just kind of taking things to a close here really quick, what are some final statements you want to tell our young entrepreneurs or young kids who are starting businesses, as you would like to say instead, to really, what do you want them to know, and pretty much how can they get a hold of you so they could be a part of this great program that really gets, kids on board to help them with their loans and everything?
Sure. I would say it's easy to start something. It's easy to get excited about the initial process, but it's going to take a lot to hang in there. It's going to take a lot for you to continue, especially when things aren't going so well. And this is why you need to craft your mission statement. This is why you need to know your why. Why are you doing what you do? For OneSavvyDollar, we exist to make people's financial lives dramatically simpler, more convenient, more productive, less intimidating, more fun and fashionable. And at OneSavvyDollar, I love everyone to wealth. I had to craft my own mission statement. I had to sit down, and I would say that has kept me going, even at moments when I wanted to just call it off, shut it down, and don't do anything else. So I would say find out your why, find out why you want to do what you want to do. And also I wouldn't say you don't need a lot of money, because that might sound pretentious, but you can budget, you can save, you can, before you seek funding, or not everyone's going to have that $1 million idea where they go out and get VC help or whatever it is, but you can save, put your monies together and start off initially, and then maybe as you grow along the way, then you could seek funding. But you can always put your own monies together, manage your monies, and everything will come together for you.
That's awesome, Ogechi. And really, it's a noble cause that you're doing, trying to help out these young kids really get going, really take a dent at their student loans, and really everything they're doing. But how can people find you more directly, either on Facebook or through OneSavvyDollar? Just give us a little bit where we can find you at then.
Yes, you can find me on Facebook. Our name is OneSavvyDollar across the board. So it's OneSavvyDollar on Facebook. It's OneSavvyDollar on Instagram. And through the website as well, OneSavvyDollar.com, and I will always respond to any emails. And I hope that people find the site useful to them, because there's a lot of information there, from how much the company is going to pay, any contractual obligations, if any, what grades you have to maintain to keep the tuition reimbursement flowing. You could also find just basically a lot of information. I believe that there's at least six to eight criteria of information you could find once you log in. But also some of the information is just on the homepage as well.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Ogechi. Guys, check her out at OneSavvyDollar, either on Facebook, Instagram, or at OneSavvyDollar.com. And you can find Sabo and I at dr2cr.com. But Sabo, let's close this out here. What are some final words?
Thank you so much, Ogechi, for coming on today and sharing your journey on how to start your own business. So you guys definitely reach out to her. But that's all we have today on Dorm Rooms to Conference Rooms.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, guys. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Ogechi.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Dorm Rooms and Conference Rooms. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you haven't joined our accelerator program yet, you can find that at livetogrind.com/college, where we connect you with today's latest influencers and experts in their fields.